welcome to the channel for new 9th Age version 3.0 battle report. I played against Lichmeister, who was playing Vampire Covenant, another practice game before my next tournament. So the list I was playing this time, I kept the Master Alchemy. I deleted one digit here, which is a 4. But I kept the Master Alchemy. I have tried the Vizier BSB on the Bastion with a great weapon, the Lamassu, as a second caster. Then in core, a big unit of Blunderbuss, which will be my main scoring unit over 550, which is needed for some secondary objective. Then I have a small unit of Citadel Guard, and within them the Gunnery Team Rocket Battery that I was really eager to try since I saw the new rule of this Gunnery Team. Then small unit of Slave to finish the core, 2 units of Incarnate kept in the list. I removed the big Titan. I have 3 Anointed Great Weapon with Discipline Banner to have a flexible scoring unit, adding some high strength attack in the list, which is welcome. Then an Afterthor to have another tool against big unit, and a small unit of Vassal Cavalry that I kept in the list as token provider and chaff. Lichmeister was playing the following list. He has 3 big blocks. Basically, you have 1 block of Ghoul, 1 block of Skeleton with the Court, and 1 block of Bourguard, who play really compact together. Then behind that you have a Mage Bunker with a Necromancer. He was playing a fighty count in one of the brick, and then he has a flying count Monster Hunter on the Revenant, which is very sexy for the price, I feel, and is can move freely and bring some tools to the list. So really nice. And then to finish the list, he has 2x4 Vampire Spawn that are really amazing nowadays, because Frenzy is not how it was, meaning it's not a problem anymore for them, and they have autonomous, so they can march 18 and then get into nice position. So yeah, Vampire Spawn are really good nowadays. We played Spoil of War on this map, and his secondary was not this one. He had the secondary killing my biggest scoring unit, which was the Bastion unit. Then we played Mutual Encroachment, and I had Enslave and Ransom, which is killing 3 units in close combat. And yeah, that was it. Matchup analysis. So he has a very solid list with 3 blocks, 3 mobile units to operate on the flank, so very threatening. His block could potentially push me, definitely. I need to use my shooting to reduce his unit and make his charge into my bricks riskier. So definitely that's how I'm supposed to work. The main problem in this matchup, there are 2 problems. The problem number 1, he can heal, which make my shooting less threatening, less effective. And the second main problem, leading to a negative estimation, is the primary objective. We play Spoil of War, which is first for me very hard to win because my scoring unit in this list don't fight much. And second of all, it makes the chaff very hard to use, because once you chaff his block that are threatening in the matchup, you give him a spoil. So he's very likely to be able to win the primary objective, because at some point I will have to chaff his block. I cannot manage those 3 blocks coming at me together. So yeah, it's not going to be so easy, and definitely a complicated matchup, I feel. Deployment wise, I won the roll for side. Lichmeister elected to drop everything for not the first turn, but to give me the first turn, which is quite interesting. He plays on the left his Vampire, then you see the 3 brick in the middle. Those guys are the Bourguard, those guys are the Ghoul, obviously. We have the Skellies in the middle, the Mage Bunker, and then on each side the Spawn. So pretty straightforward. For me, I went rather to the left and wanted to use the ring, like to establish a position, a battle line like that, and to close the flank I placed the Gunnery Team. So I feel this is should be quite effective to block his flanking maneuver. I had one problem, is this zone of the map that he can exploit easily. He's well deployed with the Spawn, they can jump behind, and there is not much I can do on my turn 1 to avoid that. The second problem I have is this battle line coming at me, pushing at me. I debated one thing that I could have done is my first idea was to put 1 unit of Kalim on the far right, which I think is a decent choice, because he dropped to give me turn 1, remember? So I could push here with 12, get into a flank position, and basically this forces the Ghoul to have a look at me at some point. because they cannot be flanked by Kadim, and the spawn alone cannot deal with the Kadim. So I feel this was a very good idea, because he's going to try to attack me with this battle line, and if one of the block has to look this direction while the other two blocks try to push the other direction, yeah, it might be problematic. Also, the effect of the court is really strong if the blocks are together, but if I manage to split them, that could be a bit of a problem. So yeah, I think that would have been way better, but instead I went with the Lamassu on the right to be a distraction. Then I place my chaff right here, incarnate, anointed, the Bastion unit with the BSB, and the slave near the Nafta thrower, basically. My turn 1, yeah. Like I said, now the Lamassu cannot really push, because the spawn can easily kill me in 1-1 fight. So then I start to establish here battle line, but cannot move that much. And here, basically I get the magic in range, but the shooting is out of range. Magic phase, I get the big blast, which on average statistically should do 2.47 wounds on the vampire, which surprised me a bit. I expected it more. I felt this Quicksilver Lash should do a lot on the vampire because he's metal armor, but he still has a ward save. I still need to wound the 4-up, so it's not that much, and I did 2 wounds, which is totally fine. So I felt this, I had the feeling it should do more, but actually no. And then, so with this first spell, I was quite lucky because I cast it with 5 dice against his 7 and it went through. But luckily for him, at least, he was able to stop with 3 dice against my 4 dice, the little one. So the molten copper on the same target. So at least that's that. His turn 1, he pushes toward me with the block. And like I said, now he doesn't need to respect the flank. So he's able really to push freely. He moves the vampire towards the middle to heal. And those guys move to the side to be annoying, will come close to the impossible. At the moment I have no charge range. In the magic phase, I heal some wounds. I dispel the creation of a new unit and dispel one of the heal. My turn 2, I push forward with the Bastion to get within 12 and get some shot at the Barrow Guard. Here I get into position to cover the angles. The same with the Anointed. I get my mage. As you can see, he was able to heal 1 wound, so I'm trying to get some more missiles. And the rest I will start to do also some shots with the Nafta thrower. In the magic phase, I get the big one on the vampire. I do 2 wounds. I dispel the little one. Then between the Nafta thrower and the Bastion, I managed to do 11 wounds on the Barrow Guard, which is very nice, but as you will see, he's able to heal that quite quickly. His turn 2. Pushes a little bit forward, especially the ghoul. I cannot really stop the ghoul. The ghoul are a huge issue because they are a very good match against Kadim, especially under the effect of the court. So the ghoul can really push 8 every turn, and there is not much I can do. I mean, you see the charges I could have would be the slave and incarnate, but I mean that wouldn't be enough, and I'm too far from the Bastion. And magic phase, he gets some heal, and he failed another one. And my turn 3, yeah, I need to defend, so I move slightly back. At least I'm able to get the Lamassu into a good position, but the Lamassu is not that threatening in close combat, honestly. I push my Incarnate forward, it doesn't see those 2 units, but I'm still quite getting close to this unit here. In case I would be able to attempt something. Here I keep the gunnery team to block the spawn in case they would like to push. They cannot move over me and into my backline. Yeah, that's about it, and I keep the Bastion in range from his Barrow Guard to get some shots at them. Magic phase, I got the little one on the vampire, so as you see, he was able to heal a wound, so I get another wound, but it's just taking way too long. Then I shot this time again at the Barrow Guard, which were for me the most threatening unit because they were close to a lot of units. But at the same time, we could argue that I have a solid combat power against them because I have a lot of units nearby. I have Incarnate, I have Anointed, and I have the Bastion, so maybe I should have shot at the ghouls to try to reduce them a bit, at least with the Nafta thrower. I managed to kill 9 Barrow Guards, which is good, but again, is able to heal that quite effectively. Yeah, he pushed another turn with the ghoul, he pushed the court forward as well, getting into good position. As you can see, I reduced them effectively, but he will be able to raise them. The vampire go hiding and healing. He attempted a charge, which in my opinion, was a mistake. It's a charge on a 6 Swift, so on 2 dice, which is like 1/3 of a chance. And he failed that, but I think it would have been very good for me, because then I would have been able to counter charge with the Anointed, kill them, and get the first point on Spoil of War. So I think that was a good opportunity for me. Unfortunately for me, he missed that. Other than that, yeah, just push on the right flank, which is giving me issue. The charge I could get is this one, Lamas in the back, a slave in the front or in the corner potentially. I could also go corner to be able to put also the vassal cavalry to the corner, but I don't go through 40 ghouls. They are striking before me due to the court, and they have more rank than me, so they're going to get +1 to wound. So there is no way I can kill all of that, and then he can just come and claim everything. So that charge is not doable, and you see the type of issue that I have with the ghoul, because if I cannot get that charge, then it's a huge problem, because he doesn't need really to respect me. And I think he was out of line of sight of the Bastion. In the magic phase, which was an issue, obviously, I should have been maybe more careful about that. In the magic phase, yeah, he heals some wounds, I dispel another one, but he's able to get a good amount of Power Guard back, as you can see. My turn 4. I need to chaff, because the ghoul next turn they can charge something and I cannot get charge. I position my Incarnate, though if he charges that, I will be able to counter charge him, so that's the idea. I keep here looking that way. Could have potentially turned around to also punish those guys. I think turn around and move this way would have been also a decent choice. I place my cavalry and stuff around, and yeah, getting some more shots at this time at the ghoul. In the magic phase, I'm going to get the 2 alchemy blast on the spawn, do a total of 4 wounds, then also get, I think, an hereditary somewhere. Between the Bastion and the Naphtha Thrower, I'm going to kill 18 ghouls, which is good, but again, he can heal that pretty quickly. On his turn 4, he charged me with the court. He's able to move just past the angle of the Lamassu, which, yeah, I wanted to zone a bit this part of the map to avoid him landing with the spawn, but it's just bad reading of the game, because he was always going to try to charge on the Naphtha, which also, to be fair, could have moved backwards and not shoot. Would have been also a decent option. So yeah, not so happy about my choices here. I get the charge, move the vampire out of the way, and he realized that the spawn on the left, it's better not to charge. Just wait here, and if I make any forward maneuver, I would get charged by those spawn. Magic phase, he gets an hereditary on the ghoul, heal 7 of them, and then he also gets another heal on 3 dice against 2. And then close combat, he kills some slaves. I pop a little bit, but I'm still engaged. The spawn easily kill my Naphtha and overrun. My turn 5. I attempt to charge the ghoul. I felt he healed them. Unfortunately for me, he just got the second heal that allows him to have 4 ranks and get the +1 to wound, which is very annoying, but I felt I wanted to see that combat. I don't know if it's doable or not. He has no buffs. I can buff 1 turn. He has no good counter charge, so I felt let's try. Let's see how that goes. It's a practice game, let's see. I turn around the gunnery to shoot at those guys here. The Bastion just moved back. And the same here on the left. I cannot really move forward. In magic phase, he dispel +2 armor save with 4 dice against my 5 dice. Very annoying. I get +1 ward save on the Incarnate. And he dispels hereditary. So I get only 1 spell. Obviously I wanted 2. 1 spell is not that much for the Incarnate. And I don't get reroll to wound. So yeah, a bit annoying. What happened then? Yeah, I did some wound on the spawn, but not that much. Like 2 wounds with the gunnery. Was not crazy. Close combat, I killed some ghouls, but not that much, like 7. And he popped another 1 due to total combat res. He killed like 1 model of mine. So yeah, I expected much more. It was definitely not a good charge to take, but yeah, I was like blocked against those ghouls, and I feel, yeah, afterwards it's easy to say it was not a good choice. I think it was worth a try, but definitely without a flaming token, I think that's the main issue. With a flaming token, I can probably augment my number of wounds done, and then it's going to be better for me. And also, obviously, I needed the second buff, which I didn't get, so wasn't that great. Yeah, here just defend because he's 1 spoil here, maybe another one on the ghoul, but I'm not close to get one, so he doesn't need to take any risk. Here it comes around, those guys move out of the way, far away from my scoring unit, so he's winning the primary, and there is not much I can do to counter that. Magic phase, he heal, what did he heal? He healed something, but not the ghoul, I feel. Not the ghoul, I think so. He got -1 resilience on the incarnate with a roll of 5, 5, 6, 6, so I had to let that go. And then the ward save, I had 6 dice to dispel that, he had only 4 dice, and he got the ward save spell, so... Whew, okay, I think he didn't heal the ghoul at all. Maybe one time the ghoul, but I'm not sure. Maybe he got one heal on the ghoul, but... Still, I think he didn't have the 4 ranks. Anyway, yeah, the ward save spell, 4 dice against 6, definitely it hurts, and it's like the end for me. It's going to be very hard to do anything about that. I don't have any good counter charge on the ghoul. Also worth mentioning, I forgot to mention, but the time I charge here, I had a charge also with those guys on 6 Swift. But I felt then the court could easily countercharge if I'm stuck, so I wasn't too eager to do that. Yeah, and then my turn 6, I try to charge with Lamassu, but I think it's a bad idea. I turn around with Bastion to shoot here, those guys shoot here. Not much will happen, I'm going to get half point of those guys. Here I'm going to do not much, and I fluff, and he kills me outright, I pop. And he just is able then on his turn to charge and eat the cavalry here. And that's the end of the game. So yeah, not great. Not great at all for me, the end. Yeah, I'm not sure he got the vassal cav. I think so at the end. Anyway, it was ended up being a 16-4 because he got the primary, he got more kills, I got almost nothing. So very frustrating matchup. I think I played a bad macro. And after that, it was too easy for him to attack, basically. And after that, I didn't really take advantage from the fact he had no chaff. And he was just able to push straight forward with the ghouls. And there is not much I can do. Basically, I was needed to chaff. Then he gets some points for the spoil. And then the court fight is too scary for my Bastion. The block of Barguard is also very tough with a vampire count in it. And the block of ghoul was just in a zone where I could push forward. And was just better than my Academy Incarnate. Anyway, post-game analysis. So deployment I could have done better, especially on the flank. And especially take more advantage from turn 1. I will show you that with a picture. I think it's easier to explain. Primary, yeah, I forgot about it when I chaffed. At this point of time we were 0-0. I think he forgot also about it when he charged with his spawn on my Bastion. And after I lost the first point, it was hard to recover. I felt at the time I needed to chaff because the ghoul were just going to charge my incarnate and kill them, which was going to be the same. So I didn't see any other better option than chaffing the 2 block. Turn 3 VC, yeah, charge would have given me the free token anti-charge for the primary, so his spawn charge was a mistake, definitely. Turn 4 I could have moved the NAFTA back to avoid his charge or make it longer for the spawn. I felt I missed the NAFTA later on. Turn 5 ID, I thought Incarnate would do more. I lacked definitely Flaming Token and the charge was a bit too ambitious. He had so many models alive. I think that was still too much for me, so yeah. Especially under the effect of the court, which buffs them a lot. It was too hard of a combat. Turn 5 VC, huge magic phase. I mean, he gets the ward save spell, which I definitely wanted to dispel. And it just sealed the fate of the Incarnate. And then my turn 6, just a suicide charge from the Lamassu. Yeah, it was more for the fun, but had little chance of success with just 4 attacks rank 5 and bringing the charge. Disappointed by Alchemy again, to be honest. I told you about the statistic, he was able to heal a little bit, but I just took nothing with Alchemy. I had the feeling it should do more on the Vampire, but actually it's not that crazy that I didn't kill him and he was able to heal and move back. So again, was not really what I expected for investing so much point in magic, and something I would consider doing differently. And VC block, I think were very impressive in this matchup. The spawn as well, high mobility, the threatened flank, they were very annoying to get rid of and were very threatening. So yeah, very good list. I felt he lacked a little bit of chaff to be able to push even more, but for me it was very, very complicated to play against this list. Moving back to deployment, I think there are two main issues that I want to talk about. The first one is the left flank. So remember, he dropped everything to give me the first turn, so I can have the first turn no matter what if I want to. I could have placed on the left here the Vassal Cavalry because he has no range damage at all. So Vassal Cavalry could go here, Vanguard forward, move to the flank, which basically is a very good spot because he doesn't see me. And then it doesn't allow him to get into this spot and look in this direction because the Vassal Cav would charge him in the flank, and that's too much for the spawn, I feel. Or at least this makes him think twice about it, and I feel with the amount of attack and the +1 to wound from the flank charge, that would probably be too much. So this would be a first threat in his left flank, and I think that was a good opportunity to do it. Still good to keep the gunnery here on this left flank, which doesn't allow the vampire to push to the flank. So I think that was a good idea. And yeah, right flank, Incarnate, definitely Incarnate. Can push a first turn, get into threatening position, see what he does, just block the angle here for the spawn to not move out. And then we see what he does with the ghoul. If he wants to come here, I need to be able to retreat slightly and play with the impossible. And just make sure that he cannot catch me easily. But just come here in the zoning position to just block the spawn and block the ghoul. And then I think it's much harder for him to push. Because he has two problems in the flank on the turn 1. And he needs to make choices. And it's much harder to push with two blocks like here. And then look with the ghoul to the flank, or he would need to give me a flank on the ghoul, accept the charge and then counter charge. Could be enough, but it's not sure at all, so that is also a huge risk. So I feel, yeah, that would have been way, way better for me, take advantage from having the turn 1, which I didn't really take advantage from, to be honest. And just the middle of my line here was just too vulnerable to his attack and to the push of the ghouls. The ghouls were just able to go through the Incarnate, kill anything. So I lost all these 3 units, which were precious points, and also gave him the primary. So I felt, even not being a so good matchup on this primary, I could have had better opportunities, cause him more problems to the flank, which wouldn't have allowed him to push that much, and then would have helped me in the match, definitely. Anyway guys, that's all for this battle report. Very interesting as always to analyze those games and see what I could have done better. I think it's always some good learnings, and talk to you soon on the channel for another battle report. Goodbye.